beautiful souls, it's Lori. Welcome back to my channel. So today is the last Year of Happy review of the year. Woo! So we're January, like probably 2nd or 3rd now. But I'm doing my December review, and I will have a whole video on my Year of Happy recap and everything and all that. And it's probably going to be very long, but I'm going to wait until I go back to Kingston next Monday before I do it. So you have to wait a whole week before you can see that. But I'm really excited to review the whole thing because I already know some of the answers I have, and yes. Anyways, today for Your Happy December, the theme was adventure, and I did read a bunch of books and I did a bunch of things. So let's just jump right into the video and I'll tell you all about everything I did. So as per usual, we'll start with the books because that's what excites me the most somehow. So the first book I read this month was this bad boy. This is Braving the Wilderness, The Quest for True Belonging and the Courage to Stand Alone by Dr. Brené Brown. And I love everything she does, and I absolutely love this book. I devoured it and it was so good, and it's brand new, so definitely give it a shot because she just is so smart. Honestly, she is so smart. Also, it does look like I have extensions, but I don't know why my hair is like this. So yeah, I will leave it to that, but this is once again like a book kind of on vulnerability and kind of asserting yourself and being true to yourself and that kind of stuff. And I didn't even think of that, like it was just a month on adventure, and honestly I knew this wasn't a true adventure even though it said wilderness, but I thought it kind of fitted, and I didn't really think about how kind of standing up for yourself and being true to yourself is a little bit of an adventure in this world. So it was a really good book. At first, the second book I was going to read wasn't this one, but then I saw Sarah and I just published a new book, and I was like, oh my god, I need to read it. And somehow it's kind of along the same line. It's You Do You, How to Be Who You Are and Use What You've Got to Get What You Want, a no fucks given guide. So it's her third book, and it's also about being yourself and being true to yourself and not listening to the chatter, which is basically what this book is about too. So that was really coincidence, you know. I just realized that as I was holding them together. I was like, hey, they're kind of about the same things. So yeah, so the second book I did read was this one, and Chubby did accidentally attack it, so poor little book is not brand new anymore because Chubby. And that was the second hard copy book that I read this month, and it was really good. It wasn't my favorite by Sarah Knight, but it was pretty good. I did like Braving the Wilderness way more though. Once again, it was kind of along the same line as like kind of not caring about what people think and just being true to yourself, being who you are, and doing what you love. Oh, and I did actually read another book. I don't have it with me because it's an ebook and I read it on my laptop, but it was How to Travel the World by Amanda Kelly. She's Amanda Around the Globe on YouTube, and it's just a short ebook that I purchased from her. So it's here, and it will be linked down below. Now, I will also share with you all the few audiobooks that I listened to this month, and I did listen to quite a few, so be prepared. So the first audiobook I listened to this month was Eat, Pray, Love by Gilbert, and I've been wanting to read this book forever. So this month was Adventure Month, so it was perfect. So I listened to that book first because I really wanted to hear the story, and then I did watch the movie just to see kind of the comparison. I like to do that. The second book I did listen to was The Wisdom of Sundays, Life-Changing Insights from Super Soul Conversations by Oprah Winfrey, and it was a really good book. I do hope I can actually purchase the hard copy book because it's so pretty. And it's so well designed inside and everything, so I really enjoyed it. A lot of the conversations she's talking about are with authors that wrote books that I read this year, so that was really cool and a good way to wrap up the year, you know, like kind of remember some teachings that I may have forgotten from earlier during the year. Then I was watching The Daily Show with Tim, and the guest Trevor had was Tiffany Haddish, the girl who's in Girls Trip, and she wrote a book, and I was like, what? Because I really loved her in Girls Trip, and then I ended up watching all of her stand-up stuff. That's like her whole special and all of the stand-up stuff I could find on YouTube from her. So I was really excited when I was like, oh, she wrote a book, what? So I ended up getting it with my Audible credit, and I listened to it. It's The Last Black Unicorn by Tiffany Haddish, and it was so good and hilarious. So yeah, I think Tiffany Haddish is hilarious, so it was a really good book to just get a good laugh. Then, on the plane to the Bahamas, I did listen to Who Thought This Was a Good Idea, and Other Questions You Should Have Answers To When You Work in the White House by Alyssa Mastromonaco. And it was a pretty good book. It wasn't my favorite of the year for sure, but it was a decent book, a decent biography. There was some interesting stuff, so yeah. Then on the way back from the Bahamas, I listened on the plane to Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson. I did learn a couple things, but honestly I feel like it's more of a you have to read book more than a listen book. But it was still really good, and I love Neil deGrasse Tyson. He has a way to make science sound very interesting. Next up, when I was in Quebec City, I listened to We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. You know, I'm really bad with names, so this book. And it was really good. It was pretty short, but it was a very interesting comparison. Like, she was kind of talking about back in their country how feminists are perceived and how it's very different from here, and why she still thinks she should be a feminist, and she's kind of trying to debunk the bad rap that feminists have, especially in their country. Next up, I listened to Gather Round the Sound, holiday stories from beloved authors and great performers across the globe. And there was a story by Paul Coelho, Yvonne Morrison, Charles Dickens, and other things. That's a pretty good audiobook, so I listened to that during the holidays. I just figured it was free on Audible, so yeah. And finally, the last book I listened to this month was a really long book, but a really, really good book, and it was Wild: From Lost to Found on the Pacific Crest Trail by Cheryl Strayed. And I did watch the movie just yesterday after finishing the book, and it is so good. Honestly, she writes so well, and the story is really compelling. It actually motivated me to go camping. Maybe not do the PCT, but go camping with him, and he's been begging me for years, so he's really excited about that. So that's all the books that I read and listened to this month. This brought me to 100 books, so I will talk about that more in my full year recap. But yes, and I guess if we want to recap kind of the month, nothing much happened in the first half of the month because I had an exam and Tim was in the middle of his exams and stuff. But then we went on a 4-day trip to the Bahamas, and that was a very last minute trip. I think we booked it maybe like 2-3 weeks, not even 3 weeks before. We just had extra money and we found something cheap, so we decided to just head south for 4 or 5 days, and it was really nice. I did do a vlog about it. It's probably gonna come out after this though, so stay tuned. We did go to the Bahamas and it was amazing. It was really refreshing, like all the sun and the waves and just relaxing. But we did go on adventures in the city too. We didn't go on a resort or anything. We stayed in the Airbnb, and yeah, it was a really good adventure. So we came back on the 20th, and on 21st in the morning we went home to Quebec City for 3 days so I could see my family, and we spent 3 days there. I did cook a bunch of vegan stuff for Christmas, and I posted it on Instagram. My friends thought it was funny that I put big no signs for the reds for all the non-vegan things. But we made Gusta sausages with smoked Gouda cheese, little bites. We also made our famous spinach dip, which is so good. Everybody loved it. And we also made a tofurkey roast, turkey roast that they have with the gravy and stuff, and everybody loved that too. So I was really surprised by how much people like the vegan things. So it was really fun. Then we came home here, had a family party on the 24th, and I brought my dad with us, and my dad spent 3 days in Audible with us. Went to see the lights. There was like a light show path thingy, I don't know how it's called, but we went there with my dad, and we also taught him how to play video games a little bit and things like that. So I got to spend more time with my dad than I did in the last year, so that was really fun. And that's about it. And that's almost everything. Then I also, me and one of my friends actually got to meet up like a couple days before New Year's, and she asked me if I wanted to go backpacking to Peru with her, and we're planning that, so that should be coming up in the next couple months, and it's like so exciting. I am so excited. And yeah, this year is going to be the year of adventures. There's a lot of other things happening too, but it's definitely going to be an adventure. Tim and I are going to go on so many trips, and apparently I'm going on trips with friends too. So I'm going to be like all over the place. I'm going to be doing so much stuff, way more than ever before. So I'm like so excited. But yeah, this month of adventure is kind of turning into a whole year adventure. So stay tuned, because this is not the last of it. I don't know if you can tell, but this month's got me very excited. I didn't even drink coffee this morning. I guess I'll leave it to that because I don't want this video to be too long. But yeah, that's pretty much what December was like. And once again, stay tuned if you want the whole year of happy recap, because it's coming really soon. And once again, I'm really excited about it. Thanks for watching. I love you guys very much. Happy New Year once again, and I will see you all in another video very soon. Bye.